Well, he's available. Josh Treacy, you going to play him?
No, not at this stage. No, he'll travel with us. He's ineligible for the waffle, so he'll travel with us and get the experience of travelling. And if something happens away, he might come in, but at this stage he'll just travel with us.
What's the thinking behind that, and how close was he?
Well, the thinking behind it is we had a good win last week. Thought our forward line functioned really well, and at this stage Sonny will come in for Fyfe, and that's the only change we've made. Like, I think a little bit of our early season form has been unsettled, especially in our front half. So we just want to settle our team down and reward good performances, and thought it was a pretty good performance by most players last week.
So is there a worry about potentially being too tall if you play Josh?
Yeah, we're playing at Etihad, fast deck, against a team that moves the ball probably the fastest in the AFL and some of the best ball movement in the AFL. So, we're always trying to strike that balance between how our forward line in particular attacks and defends. You're right. That came into consideration.
You probably don't often get the chance to bring in a young player of 7 goals. Was that tempting, or why he must be feeling good and confident?
Yeah, it is. He performed really well in the last scratch match. It was a couple of weeks ago now. He probably just missed out due to timing in some sense. Thought Sean gave us a really good contest for the ball last week, and his ruck work inside 50 in particular was first class. So he gave us a bit of a different look. He was first up off no pre-season games, so we expect him to build off that. Expect him to be able to do more ruck work as the season progresses. And Tabs is in pretty good form as well. So, it's probably more of just a balance thing, and he'll just have to string games together and earn his spot.
And so you quite like the 2 ruckman idea going forward then?
Well, it's a fluid game. It's ever changing, and what I say now might not be true in 4 weeks, but we thought it gave us good balance last week. Sean took a few marks, Tabs took a few marks, but the predictability of the contest they gave us was really important, and it was a contest we didn't get the week before against Melbourne. So that gave our smalls a good look at ground level. So it worked last week. We'll go with it again this week, and next week will be different as well.
What are you made of Carlton so far, Joel? They probably haven't played their best footy yet.
I think some of the criticism has been a little bit unfair on them, to be honest. I watched the Richmond game and they were 5 points down with 10 minutes to go. Watched last week and they're coming again in the last quarter against Collingwood. So Collingwood and Richmond are 2 pretty good sides, and they've pushed them all the way. So they're not far off. We're going to prepare for them at their best, and their best is very good.
Is Michael Walters ready?
Yeah, he's ready. He got through training. He's had a good couple of weeks of training under his belt, and he's itching to get out there and contribute.
He'll go back into that forward role, or?
Yeah, like I said at the start, be like for like in some sense. Fyfe out, Walters in.
Do you expect him at his best, or is there a little bit of caution with the injuries coming off?
Yeah, I think we've probably seen a bit of a pattern over the early rounds that players that haven't had many games over the pre-season have been a little bit rusty. Having said that, he's trained really well and at a high intensity and done everything right. So I expect him to have an impact. I just really expect him to play his role and contribute in role. So I think he's a player that can come in and with his experience and game sense and skill can have an impact straight away.
Was it a longer conversation at the selection table this week? Was it a longer conversation at the selection table this week?
Not really, to be honest. It was the easiest one I've had all year. And, he's got to reward good form. And I thought our players rebounded well last week. Nearly every player played their role. So we've got to reward that. And we're after a bit more of a settled team than we've had across the pre-season. So it was probably one of our easier discussions, to be honest.
How's Nat doing, JL?
He's going well. He's in good spirits. He's ticking every box so far. Obviously our medical staff will follow the protocol, and so will Nat. And but signs are good so far.
There was some suggestion that he might miss more than the one game, and because he takes concussion more seriously, say, than any other player, are you worried that it might be more than one game on the sideline?
Well, it's really symptoms and protocol based. If he doesn't tick every box, we'll give him another week or another 2 weeks. That's the way these things work. He'll work closely with the doctors and be really honest with how he's feeling, and the doctors will say whether he's in or out. Like I said, he's really positive at this stage. So we'll just see how it plays out over the next week.
Justin, Watson and Henry, were they available to be picked?
Yep. They're available to be picked. Both will travel. We'll make a decision on the sub probably over there.
Connor Blakely was a sub last week, came on for Fyfe. He's not going this week?
No, he's going to play for Peel today. Probably feel like we need more of an outside player to be our sub this week, and probably the more important thing is we don't think it's right for Connor to be sub 2 weeks in a row and get low game time. So probably feel we need to rotate that role. Otherwise we'll just lose match fitness too quickly, and it's critical that you maintain that.
So you take about 25 then, will you?
Yeah, take 25. Play 23 now, so just a couple up our sleeve just in case something happens.
Rory Lobb, does that sort of buoy you, the fact he looks like getting back quicker?
Yeah, it's really positive. He's ever since he did it, he's been really positive about how it feels, how it's operating, his knees operating, and he's tried to push the fitness staff to go faster every time, which is a good sign that he's really comfortable within himself. And he's been out running now. He'll run on the Alter G. He'll run on the grass, I think, over the next couple of days. And then we'll just get him into full training and see how he goes. He's ahead of schedule. And
Griffin Logue, where's he at?
Yeah, he'll play next week. He was scheduled to play this week, coming off that hamstring, and we've just decided, because it's a recurrence, to give him an extra week. Trained really well yesterday and expect him to be playing next week.
And do you make waffle, or could he come straight in?
Depends how we go this week. We'll tick that box next week. From what I've seen at training, he's fit enough to play AFL, but we'll just have to weigh that up.
And I guess he'd be quite handy with how you are at the back at the moment.
Yeah, he's got a unique ability to play tall and small. So but most important is that he's fit and we can get him out there and play a lot of games in a row. That's the most important thing for him at the moment.
Given round one, you're pleased to get back on the road and have another go at it?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously disappointed in round one, bounced back last week, and we don't want to be a team that is up and down. So we want to be a team that's consistent with our performances, and we'll get another opportunity to build on last week.